get Wednesdays. Um, I'm excited about this one. 'Cause I got a bone to pick. That's what's happening. I probably would rest days. So I hear it a lot, like, I'm gonna talk about resting, and most of that in my head, most of the time, what I'm hearing people talk about is in relation to working out. That's what my head goes to. That's the rest days. You'll do it, it's rest day, like it's the weekend, right? So weekend is your rest day from work, a chance for you to rejuvenate and get back into it. And I guess there's layers to this. There's layers to my distaste, I guess you could say, for rest days. I think initially it comes from a place of a little bit of judgment, a little bit of questioning your own level of work, and really this comes from me. Like, so this is my projection, so I'm acknowledging my projection of stuff onto you, or onto people generally. Is that people will say, "Oh, I need a rest day. I just want to relax, take a mental health day, or whatever the case may be." Sure, okay, that's fine. What have you actually done? How much work have you actually put in to earn those days of rest? Days, because a rest day is you're accomplishing nothing towards the goal of your business, but you could be accomplishing things towards something else. So then it's important to define terms when you start things out. So if a rest day is laying around your house, watching Netflix, eating ice cream, I'm viewing a rest day as like your diet has gone out the window, and you're not exercising, and you're not working on your work, you're not working on any personal projects, and generally vegging. That's the way that I'm viewing that. And so if you were taking a more proactive approach where your rest day is more of a shift from one focused area to another, then cool. Like I'm all about that. I think that's brilliant. I think it's a good way to keep your mind focused and really tracking and on like the leading edge of innovation for whatever task it is that you're doing. Because if you're sitting there and you're focused on one thing nonstop, you might have the tendency to end up trapped in a box, and you don't want to do that. So your thoughts start to get circular. You start taking away the outside influence, and it's important. So, so if we're talking about rest days in the way that I define it, and which is what we'll do, because the only way to have a conversation about something is to clearly define the terms and then to discuss based off those defined terms. So if it's a veg out day, diet's out the window, exercise is out the window, and work, any sort of work or project management or effort is not there. What did you do that week? What did you do the days prior to? What did you do that month? What did you do in that quarter to earn a day of nothing? And some people will say that, oh, well, like I did this, that, and the other, and you can make a list. And the question is, is that really, how beneficial is it? And a lot of people will end up saying that there's a mental health benefit to it, and not to deny that there absolutely is mental health benefits to resting and relaxing and giving yourself that peace of mind. But is it more stressful to completely cut out from what you're doing? And if you're able to completely cut out, what are you doing? What choices did you make in your profession, in your career, where you want to be fully removed from it, where it's causing you the amount of stress and anxiety where you want to not even touch it, not even think about it for a day? I would rather myself have multiple big projects that I'm working on that if I've gotten to a place where I can rest on where I'm forced to rest on one, where I'm forced to, and I'm in a holding pattern, so to speak, that I can shift to another one. I like the idea of moving and making progress. And if I don't have things in my life that I'm shooting for and I'm trying to get better at, I mean, it doesn't have to be big stuff. Like if I'm working on this show and I'm trying to bring content to you, and I have the next month recorded and taped and the ideas laid out, and I have a seminar built, and I'm going, and I have schools scheduled, and everything's lined up and it's good to go. And I'm in that sense, I'm in that holding pattern, then what else could I be doing? And it doesn't have to be for this business. It could be for something else. It could be for like what's a personal passion project of mine. I really want to get back into carpentry. I want to get into woodworking, and so my rest day could be a day where I'm like, oh, I'm going to build a chair, or a shelf or something. I'm going to refine these skills, and I'm going to retool and do that. And like I said, it's important to get the mental health aspects. It's important to stop and smell the roses. There's proven scientific studies showing the importance of the mental health days and of the calming and relaxing nature of taking a respite. And I think that it's more important. It goes back to things in moderation. It's more important to stop and smell the roses than to go camping. If I'm going to try to follow this metaphor all the way through, I think it's more important that throughout the day that you incorporate into your life a sense of mindfulness and gratitude and thoughtfulness, where on your way to work, even when you're walking from the car to the office, if that's the case. It's the case for me, that's why I'm using it. If you're doing that to acknowledge the world around you and to find ways to breathe it in and to really take in the world and appreciate the beauty and to think about all the things that it is that we have that make life, like you drive to work and it's like, I don't know, it's like 76 degrees. Okay, it's a little warm. I'll kick on the AC in my car that I'm driving, which has an engine in it that's thumping pistons up and down and releasing air and gas into it through valves on top, creating controlled explosions inside of the car, under the hood that I'm driving, and I have the air set at the temperature that I like. So, it's pretty sweet. It's pretty sweet. And a lot of this comes back to gratitude, because you cannot have gratitude as an emotion at one time and have anxiety or apprehension or judgment or resentment at the same time. You can't do it. You can bounce back and forth real quick. Don't get it twisted. You can go back and forth real quick. But you cannot have gratitude in conjunction at the same time as another one of those emotions. So that's why it's important. That's why I go back to it. But a lot of the stop and smelling the roses goes back more, not necessarily to gratitude, but to mindfulness. Just thinking about the world around you and your place in it. I actually, it wasn't that recently. It was a while ago. I was on Facebook, and I saw there was a post from this, like, there's something called like a 9 to 5. The 9 to 5 Facebook group or something like that. They do funny memes, and it's for people that are that work a 9 to 5. And so it'll be like office memes and stuff like that. And one of the things I saw on there one time, I think it was something to the effect of 2 days isn't enough for recovery. By the time I get home, I'm doing laundry, and I gotta fold clothes, and I gotta do the dishes, and blah 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 blah. I think it's interesting. The not enough time aspect of this drives me absolutely crazy, and I'll probably do a whole That's What You Get Wednesday on I don't have enough time. But just real quick on that, It's prioritization. That's what it is. There are limited hours in the day, but Elon Musk, Bill Gates, Steve Jobs when he was alive, Jeff Bezos, all of them have the same 24 hours in the day that you have. And look what they've done. Your boss has the same 24 hours in the day. The people that work for you have the same 24 hours in the day. No one has an advantage when it comes to time. And people are getting more done than you are. They're getting up earlier. They're working harder. They're working later. They're getting more playtime in. How are they doing it? Look for them. Find them. Ask them. That's what I'm doing. That's why I do my interviews. I learn from these people and I implement the smart lessons that they've put into their lives and I implement them into mine. And it makes my life so much greater than it was before. And I'm so grateful for that. I'm blessed. And that's why I do this show. And one of the many reasons is that I can take those lessons that I'm getting from me and I can share it with you. That was how the whole thing started. Was I had the chance. I noticed that I was having these conversations and I was like talking to all of these amazing people, and I really wanted to share it. I was like, so many people could get benefit from this, and that's why I do it. That's why I'm sending them out there. So it's for you. Take advantage. Listen to. All you have to do is listen. Do while you're washing dishes. Time management. That's what I'm getting at. It's the same 24 hours in the day. How are you optimizing your time? Are you planning it? Are you the spectator in your life? Are you just responding to stimuli in your environment? Because in one of the first books that I read on motivation, it talked about the early scientists and psychologists looking into motivation and how people are motivated. And one of the first very flawed theories was people just react to the stimulus in their surroundings. Basically, we are a ball sitting in a room, and then the room shakes, and then we start moving, and then that's it. And then the room stops, and then we eventually stop. And then the room moves again, and then we move again. And then something else falls into the room, and then we react to that. That's not the case. You can be proactive, and you can think, you can set up your environment. That's why I'm doing all of these shows too, because you can take the skills I'm teaching, you can take the lessons that I'm giving to you, and you can implement them into your life. Set up your environment in a way. Habit stack. Use gratitude. Overcome obstacles. It's on you. It is on you. So choose to have the rest day if you want. What does the future you, what is a 5-year from now version of you saying to you right now that this is what you should have done? Because we all say, oh, if I would have known then what I know now. Well, how about we ask the person that's 5 years ahead? How about we ask us who's 5 years in the future? Because there is a successful version of us out there. There is the one that did exactly what we want to do because they followed through. And so when I think about the decisions that I'm making, I'm like, okay, right now I'm recovering from surgery. The 5-year Matthew from now, what would he say to me now? Would he say, you should get up and move around and do more work right now physically, or you should set things up in a way where you can do a lot of work while you're not moving around so much, while you're on convalescent leave. So that way you can recover and the surgery can be a success. And 5 years from now, we can have a baby. We can have a 5-year-old baby, hopefully, or a 4-year-old baby. Math. But that's it. Think about that person in the future. Ask them now. Ask him or her now. What did you do? And think about it. And sit there. It's a meditative. It's a mindfulness practice. It's a meditative practice. It's one that I use, and it works for me. So please do it. Question your rest days. Ask yourself. This is a really good play off of yesterday's episode of asking questions. This is more asking questions. Ask yourself, did you earn